yeah, Daniel said he would open us up in prayer, so that would be a wonderful, essential activity. So Daniel, could you please ask God's direction for us?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day and this time to gather together online via Zoom and to share and learn and grow. Pray that you would give us all open minds and hearts to receive information and knowledge that is being imparted to us. Pray that you would be with each of the speakers, that they will have clear minds and hearts, and that they will be able to communicate effectively and just really have clear communication with all of us and be able to share the points that they would like to this morning. Thank you and praise you for this company and these wonderful products. And we just ask that all the technical side of everything will go well with the meeting this morning, and that we'll just have a wonderful time gathering together. Thank you and praise you for all of the blessings in our lives. And we ask all of this in your holy and precious name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Daniel. And from here, we're going to, Barbara's going to draw out some wins from you guys. So Barbara is a great leader, a highly inspiring person. And you guys, let's welcome Barbara to read our wins section.
Well, good morning, everyone. Greetings from Southern California, and it's cold. That's all I can tell you. But my code is different to your code, right? It could be. Okay, we want to talk about, want to know if anyone wants to share what wins they had for the week, or for the month before we came to the BOC. So anybody who wants to volunteer to share their wins for the month of March, or even yesterday.
Yeah.
I'd like to share one.
Okay, Kat, please do.
I wanted to say a big thank you to you publicly for coming down to Grants Pass and doing a fantastic job of explaining how to still stop and probably slow down aging. And I think you gave them a lot to think about, and I really appreciate you came down. I know that maybe Jamie's on this call as well, but that was the first inaugural health and wellness and education fair here in Grants Pass. And we're going to just continue to get bigger and better and give you more opportunities to share your pearls of wisdom. So thank you so much, Bob. It was a big win for me.
Okay, thank you, Kat. Thanks for organizing that and for the great opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Kat. That was great. Anybody else?
A win. Well, more like a team win than a personal win for business, and that is that I have a club member who's been signed up, I would say probably 2 years, but she rarely places an order, and I think it's like once a year kind of thing, and usually just gets Prime Pack. Anyway, I saw that through her online account, she placed an order for, I think, about 1,000 PV. Anyway, woo! I was like, but you're a club member. Anyway, contacted her, and I went to the NeoLife company first and said, hey, she placed this order as a club member, but if she becomes a promoter kind of after the fact, can you apply that order to it and do a refund? And they said, yeah, we can. Make an exception this time. Anyway, it actually took some convincing and meeting in the middle a little bit, like, okay, here's why this would be so good. Anyway, she did end up becoming a promoter, and so that was a win. But what I wanted to point out is that change from club member to promoter reduced my bonus check by $505, which I knew that ahead of time, and I guess just don't hold anyone back because of that, because who knows what she'll do in the future because of that discount, and then also getting a check in the mail because she got the bonus instead. And so anyway, it was kind of like, wow, interesting to make that decision and reduce the check by that amount. But also, I knew it was the best thing to do, and especially for her. So just watching out for people in that way, and yeah, she'll have that promoter discount in the future when she places an order.
Wow, that's a whopper of an order. And
Yeah.
how do you figure that out, Daniel, for the difference? Is it you would have been making 5% plus the 10 for 1,000? Is that how you figure that out, or?
I think I just figured it out. It would be the difference between the club member price and the promoter price. So that's the big chunk of it, which would go to me instead of being a discount for her.
Yeah,
and then also the bonus, which she got a 10% bonus. So it'd be the 10% that would go up to me if she wasn't a promoter. So just those two things combined.
Okay. Well, that's a whopper of an order, and she's going to get a nice big check. So that would be eye opener, wouldn't it, for her?
Yeah, for sure. And who knows, maybe, she'll want to do a business in the future.
Right.
I don't know what seed was planted, but sometimes you make sacrifices to do what's best for other people.
Right. And the big thinkers do that. So I commend you. Louis, without hesitation, he defers to them without hesitation. He was qualified for 2 diamond. And one person wanted to place an order after the deadline. So the company called them, can we do this? And it threw him out of his 2 diamond qualification because it changed the number of directors he needed. And he said, without hesitation, he told the company he gave his permission for them to include her. So congrats, Daniel. You're a big thinker, and that's going to pay off. Well,
Barbara, I remembered that story that Louis told.
Yeah. He said without hesitation. So good job. Okay, Barbara, why don't you see if there's any more?
Anybody else?
I have one.
Leslie has one.
Okay.
This was really unusual, but if you build a big business, it could happen to you. I suddenly had this new person in my team that I had no idea who they were. So I called the company, and somebody had called in, and they put her in my team. So her daughter was having a baby, and the midwife said, you need to get, this NeoLife B complex. So the mom decided to try it too. And now she's got like 4 or 5 other people, the sister, her mother, the nephew's pregnant wife, and all these family members who are wanting to try the B complex. And I told her, you know what? You need to upgrade to promotion, buy it by the case. And I said, if I was you, I would have it, sell it to them retail, because they're just trying it right now. They didn't want to sign up yet. And you make a little bit of money extra in between for your extra work. And she goes, oh, okay. This lady is an Amish lady. So I was really surprised that she could text with me, because we have to do everything by phone, that we don't have the computer option with her. So, sometimes you have to get creative and think, like, the company doesn't make price lists anymore. So they actually printed one for me and mailed it to her, and she got it. So things like that. And anyway, she's as I'm hearing that, this one has morning sickness and this has that she's low in iron and stuff. Then I sent other little suggestions. She's got the cat, and she said, oh, I'll look those things up. So that was kind of fun.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Leslie.
You're welcome.
That was great. Anybody else?
Jamie, you're muted, Jamie.
Aha. I got a win. I had a new customer last month, and her husband, it's a slightly elderly couple, a little bit older than Carol and I, maybe. And
Maybe.
anyway, the husband
Maybe
was
so.
having some memory issues and having a hard time tracking and things like that. And so I mentioned the NeoLife to her, and I'd mentioned it before, but and specifically with memory issues. And she said, "Oh, I want to try that." And so they got their stuff a little over a week ago now. And I saw her the other day, and she said, "It's working already." And you could tell it was working already. He was doing much better on his tracking, and I was just impressed. So praise the Lord, nutrition makes a difference.
Great, Jamie. Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
That was great. That was great. Anybody else? If not, I have just a quick two. I want to acknowledge Mary Antoine. She made a huge step in starting her own Zoom. It's wonderful to see her growing. It's just amazing. I mean, she just came up one day, and because she said she could never do that, and one day she called and she said, "Bam, this is what I want to do." And so she does it every Monday, so which I want to acknowledge what a big step in her journey. Also, when you think of coming on Zoom or anybody's Zoom or functions like this or going to retreats, and you listen to other people, then you start to improve on your skills. And so you think I have the best skills in the world, and you think I'm confident and all that kind of stuff, da 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 da. But sometimes inside, it's have this little stuff inside you that goes crazy. So I had this friend, I was been talking to her since they came out with the NeoLife tea, center this, center the beats, center blah, blah, blah. I met her in Grenada. I was down there, and I had not seen her in probably about 40 something to 50 years. So we chatted for breakfast, and then she came up and she said she would be interested. So I had to keep pushing, but I felt uncomfortable pushing. But I wanted to test to see if a little persuasion will work. And ta-da, it worked. I pushed a little bit and I pushed a little bit, and but when I pushed, I didn't really talk only about NeoLife. I talked about just general things. How are you doing? And it always come back to her health challenges or her tiredness. So finally she said, what should I do? I said, well, I gave her a little package that she'll order. And then she said, club member, I sent her the two prices. So she decided she would take the promoter. Then she changed her mind when she saw the price because of the $75. So she would take the club member. And she said, oh, where is my 25% off? So I went back and discussed it with her. And she said, which one do you think is better? So I just said the promoter is better. She said, well, let's go for it, because she was leaning more on the club member side. So and now as I'm talking to you, she just sent me a picture. She said, hello, my dear, my NeoLife journey starts right now. So she's doing the shake. So I forgot that I need to send her the NeoLife shaker. Anytime someone signs up, I send them a free NeoLife shaker bottle. So I just told her I'll be mailing a shaker for you today, because she has a little scoop stuff, etc. So I just wanted to say I did the little push, little persuasion that people who are excellent in the business, in NeoLife, or even or network marketing, always say, give that push. So I tested the water. I was very uncomfortable, but it was done. And she became a promoter. Yeah, so that's my win for March.
Thank you, Barbara.
That's it, Bob, for me. Thank you.
Very good. Well, you guys, what we're going to do, thank you for sharing your wins. That's really super helpful for all of us to hear. I have 4 wins, but I'm not going to do them right now because 2 of the people on here, we need to get them on. And one of them is Jolene, and then we'll go to Nick and Isabella. And so happy they're with us. And Jolene has been a customer for many, many years, used the product for a long time. And she does over right around 2,000 almost every single month. That's a very nice side business. Very, very nice. Has a beautiful family. And Jolene and one of her close friends came to a retreat, very wonderful one. And she's going to share a little about that with us, her highlights and what she liked. And then then I'll introduce Nick and Isabella. So Jolene, could you please share with us now?
Sure. Yeah. So Bob did a little bit of pushing with Gay and I to get us there, and we're thankful that he did. Yeah, we went down to the event in Fresno with Louis' team. And first of all, it's amazing that Louis includes us and grandfathers us in so that we can take advantage of, all that they are teaching their team. I would say, to boil it down, the two things that I enjoyed the most were talking with people there, getting to know them. My friend and I decided from the beginning that we would sit with different people at different tables each time that we could, because really you learn about as much talking to people as you do in the sessions. I mean, just getting to know their personal stories. And one of the personal stories that I was able to connect with was a man who'd had prostate cancer, because I knew I was getting ready to try to contact my husband's best friend, because he's been going through that. So just to have someone that when I talked to my husband's friend later that week, to be able to say, I just talked to someone, this last weekend that went through this situation also, and this is what they did. It's really helpful. So being able to hear people's stories was really great, and getting to know people personally. And then probably besides Louis, because Louis is amazing, listening to him speak, but Susan Beck, I really enjoyed her too. She spoke on Elevate, and then the one I really liked is she spoke on stress and just what it does to us, and how we need to replenish our nutrients when we're under a lot of stress. And then later that night, she happened to come and sit down at our table for dinner, and we were all pretty excited because we're like, oh great, we get to talk with Susan Beck at dinner tonight. But what was really cool is the minute she sat down, the first thing she said was, so I'd like to ask all of you a question. What can we do to help serve you guys better? What can we do to make your job easier? What can, like, totally threw us all for a loop. She was so humble, and so she wanted to know what she could do to help us. So what the company could do. So that was really cool. So yeah, those things, the whole thing was really good, but those two things were really made an impression.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for sharing that. And Jolene, I just got one last question for you. You've been to several conventions. Just in 2 or 3 sentences, what would you say is the reason you and Dan are going this year?
I think it gives a good overview, especially if you can take someone with you. Last year we were able to take another couple with us. It gives a really good overview of the company and their philosophy, and hearing from Kendra especially is just gives them, I think, confidence in the company. And then you get to hear all the different scientists speak, which that's invaluable, because no matter what they speak on, it's usually really, really outstanding and helpful. And then just mixing with other people too.
Okay, good. Well, like I said, Jolene has a beautiful family, 4 wonderful kids, a great husband, and we're ultra blessed to have her in our team. So thank you for sharing, Jolene.
Sure.
Appreciate that. Okay, you guys, right now we're going to go to Nick and Isabella Gavrilov, and you guys will remember Nick. He's unforgettable, high energy, and just a wonderful man. He has 8 lovely children, beautiful wife, and his original goal in NeoLife was to get enough to pay for his product. Well, then that happened, and he kept growing, and the side business started making their house payments, which is pretty amazing, because you guys, I think you'd agree, our biggest payment generally is always going to be a mortgage payment, house payment, started making that. Now the check is running in the thousands. So it's very inspiring to see the growth and high energy. And then his oldest daughter, Isabella, oh my goodness. I got to speak to Isabella. I told her dad only about probably 6 to 8 minutes in the cafeteria at the last Wisdom Builder retreat, the last meal Sunday. And she just blew my mind with her poise and her confidence. And she can't even get a check because of her age, but I'm just so amazed at her visionary deferred gratification. She's building a very successful team, very successful. So the minute she turns 18, she'll be able to upgrade to promoter and start getting big checks because she's building very successfully, has many members. I don't know how many promoters, but many members, and getting close sometimes to director volume, you guys, at age 15. I understand she just turned 16, but just her maturity, and she agreed. I think Nick might share some too. But she agreed that she could share with us how she gets customers and her mindset. And I'm so amazed that a 16-year-old has the maturity and forward thinking to be building now for a business that in 2 years will have a big payday for her. I mean, it just really impresses me. So we just thank Nick and Isabella so much for coming on to share. And we thank Nick too, because last year he lit up our screen and our heart and mind and energy. Just these are wonderful people, you guys. So let's welcome Nick and Isabella Gavrila.
Hey, thank you guys. Thank you so much. That was way too much said, over exaggerated.
No.
But Bob, thank you. Appreciate you and love you, brother.
You.
Hey guys, for those of you who I haven't met yet, hello. It's so great to see you guys. It's good to see that I love hearing you guys' wins and what is going on in your guys' world. Good morning to West Coast. Good afternoon to East Coast. We are here in Tennessee, so we are. It's already afternoon, 12:24. So yeah, just a quick little recap. We moved out here almost 2 years ago from Washington State. We lived in Washington for about 15 years. Prior to that, we lived in Sacramento, California. So we're now in Tennessee. We're loving, enjoying it. It's a different type of people, different type of weather. So everything is different all around. So it also gives us a new, fresh outlook on life. So it kind of gives you just kind of like a little refresh. Not that we were running from anything. God is good all the time, but it's just when you are in a new place, new setting, it's kind of like, wow, nobody knows you. And we went from Washington, where we were trying to, where we started NeoLife. We only started NeoLife about 6 years ago. Next month will be 6 years. And out there, obviously, when you start, you're starting off, people are getting to know you. Okay, you're doing something. You're starting to, okay, what is it that you guys are doing and stuff like that. Once you move to a new place, people are like, okay, what is it that you guys do? We're like, hey, we help people with, with the world's best nutrition. And Bob, you asked, some of your members, like, why are you going to the retreat? Well, we are going to the summit, and we try to go every year because 3 years ago when it was in Nashville, that's where our lives have changed. I saw a totally different perspective. I was able to talk to the doctors, talk to the team, talk to you guys. I've met a lot of you guys. I've met people, just all over Canada and Mexico and here in America, wisdom builders, everybody. And it was like, wow, there's a lot of people like-minded. I love this because we all have one same common goal, and it's to help people, the next person right next to you. So I love what Dale Carnegie says. He says that person right next to you is better than you at something. So we have something that they probably don't have, but they also have something that we need. So it's such a blessing to meet more people and more connections and grow that confidence. For us, the confidence went from 98 to 100%. Is just that retreat or that summit. That summit, we went to 100. I was like, okay, this is it. So this is when we moved to Knoxville, and people in church and friends and new friends, neighbors. That's where we had a chance to kind of just take it to the next level. And I remember the kids, they were asking about going to Camp Dwight. Are we going to go to Camp Dwight, or are we going to go there? Are we going to go to Florida? And I was like, hey, listen, so we set some goals. If you guys want to go here or there, here's what we need. We need signups. We need more people. So they went door knocking, right? So Bella is awesome at baking, cookies, breads, cakes, anything requires the oven. She's a master. So she already made cookies out there, and she's out there going door knocking, door to door, having people, hey, not asking, would you like to buy some cookies? Like, hey, sample this cookie and let me know what you think. And would you like some? And then on top of that, hey, what are you doing for your health? What kind of nutrition are you doing? So she and her sisters are grabbing emails. So we're just grabbing emails left and forward. They're bringing it to me, and I'm sending out the emails to them, sharing links and videos and stuff like that. So I think right now she's got about 20, maybe 25 people signed up with her, 2 on auto ship. And this is the first time in about a year that she did not get a free product. Because most of her members, they just, they'll order whenever they need it. They'll order Elevates, or they'll order just the Pro Vitality or vitamin D or magnesium or something like that. So she grew, and so we kind of just helped her, and so here we are now. I think my time is up. Unless you have any questions for me, and I can have Isabella continue.
Okay. Well, let's go to Isabella, and then you guys, if you have questions for Nick, or if you have questions for Isabella, you can ask that right after Isabella is done. But Isabella, thank you for coming on and sharing your heart and your energy and your vision. And it's so nice to hear about helping people with the world's best nutrition, is what you said. That's excellent. And you guys are, confidence can grow. And like at the summit, like Nick mentioned. So Isabella, come share how you do it and how you have such a magnificent vision 2 years out that you can already be building and working towards. That's amazing.
Yes, thank you for having me. Hello, everyone. My name is Isabella Gavrilov. I'm 16. I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee. And my experience with NeoLife, well, my dad mentioned that about 6 years ago, we started taking NeoLife, and I started taking Vita Squares. And until I was like 13, I started breaking out my face, and I started taking Pro Vitality, which has helped so much. And on top of that, I'll take vitamin A and zinc whenever I have a breakout. And every day Pro Vitality, I love it so much, and I notice a difference when I don't take it. I love Elevate like a lot. It's so good with sparkling water. My parents made it a few weeks ago with sparkling water, and I was like, what? With sparkling water? This is next level right here. And my friend came over, and she was like, remember that energy drink you made me last time? I'm like, yeah, Elevate. She's like, yeah. She's like, can you make it for me again? I'm like, yeah. So I made it for her, but I told her that I made it with sparkling water this time, and she loved it too. But it's just so good at sparkling water. If you haven't tried it, you have to try it.
Right.
And how I share NeoLife. Well, at the moment, I am reaching out to friends and asking. Well, first, I'm building rapport. I'm building relationship with them. Starting conversations. How are they doing? What's new in their life? What have they been up to? And then I'll ask specifically for Elevate, I will ask, are you into energy drinks at all? And they'll go, no, not really. Or, yeah, I'll drink one here and there. And I tell them about Elevate, how it's helped me so much. It gives energy right away. It has helped me with my PMS symptoms. It's just so good, and it has all clean ingredients. And they're like, no way, I have to try this stuff. So I sent several links to friends already, and I love NeoLife, and I see it in my future, and I want to share as much as I can. My dad says, if you have gold, why don't you share it with everyone else? So I have NeoLife, and I don't want anyone else to be missing out. So I'm just sharing as much as I can everywhere I go.
Awesome. Wonderful. And is the reason you love NeoLife, Isabella, because of how it's helped you, or did you see it help your parents, or did you see it help some of your customers. And I see you at events, you know, too. And I think you love those. You seem to enjoy, you know, being around all the NeoLifers, right?
Oh yes. Yeah, I love it because it's helped me, it's helped others, and just knowing how it can help anyone, that's like so awesome. And why would you not love that, right?
Right. Right. And is it how do you are you good typically at being forward thinking? Because you know you can't get a check for 2 years, right?
Yeah.
And so, but you're I really highly admire you that you can be working now towards a goal that's 2 years out. That's
Yeah.
really, really wonderful. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I know that I can't make a check until I'm 18, and I'm 16, so I have about 1 year and 10 months left to go. And I just, my goal is just to already have a good paycheck come in once I turn 18, because I don't want to turn 18 and be like, oh, no, I have to start right now because I didn't do anything before, and I don't want to be waiting. So I'm just doing as much as I can right now for the future.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. And then are you envisioning having now I understand you've gotten close to 4,000 once or twice. And are you thinking by 18 maybe you could even get to 5 or 6 or 7,000 maybe? Do you anticipate that perhaps?
Oh yes, that would be so great. And my parents have helped me so much. Like without them, I wouldn't even be here. So it's all thanks to my parents.
Hmm. Okay, and then let's see here. So you can get free product now with the three
Yeah.
for free. And do you feel like it helps grow your confidence and so on to interact with people and join people up?
Oh yes, for sure. I've already done it several times, so I have the confidence that I can do it again. The first few times were kind of scary, like I wasn't sure how to bring it up, or I was just kind of really nervous about it. And but now that I've done it with so many people, I'm like I'm ready for the next person.
Right, right. And how many summits have you been to, Isabella?
I've been to one summit, but I wasn't there for the whole thing. Um,
Okay,
but I've been to 3 retreats, and the retreats are so encouraging.
okay. Is there a retreat coming soon?
Yes, next weekend, and I can't wait.
So you've been to three of those, and where is that retreat going to be?
Gonna be in Alabama.
Okay, good. We have several people on this call that are going to be there. And what would you say is the best thing about retreat?
Oh man. Oh, there's so much good about retreat. I would say the biggest thing is just encouragement. Like you get to meet new people and hear their stories, how New Life changed their lives and how it changed other people's lives. And you just get so much encouragement from hearing from everyone, and it boosts up your confidence for sure. Yeah.
Okay. And are most of the people there kind of cranky and irritable and crabby, or what are they like?
Oh, at the retreat, no. Everyone is so friendly. You feel like you're family with everyone, like you've known them for a very long time. Everyone's just so sweet and encouraging there.
Okay. And are you on a weekly call with Josh? Are you on those almost every week,
Yes,
or is that still going? Oh, how
yes, Monday
important?
nights.
Okay. How many are on that call, and what's the age group, and why do you go on every week? How does that help you?
Yes. The age group, most people are about 16 to 23, maybe.
Okay.
Um, I forgot the first question you asked. What was it?
Well, what's the reason that you go on that call? How does it help you? What benefit do you have of being on that call?
Um, you get to stay in touch with your New Life friends. You hear what they've done, uh, like the people that they reach out to, their stories, how they share. It's just so encouraging hearing from everyone. And last week we were doing, what are they called? Like little, I guess, tests, you could say. Or
Like play?
Like what?
Role play?
Yeah, role play. Yeah. Mr. Josh Clark, we would go back and forth. He would pretend that he doesn't know me yet, and I have to share New Life with him. And he'll ask me some questions, and I have to bring it up. And it was so funny, but so encouraging. Like it was just awesome, and practicing together to boost up your confidence. Because when you're there with a person, whoever you're sharing New Life with, you sometimes don't know what to say. And since you're practicing with these people, with the New Life group, they help you. They say, no, don't use this word, use that word. And it's just so encouraging to be on there.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. And do you have to turn in a report for how many people you talk to or anything like that?
No, Mr. Josh will ask us like regularly, how many people have we talked to? How did we share? No report.
Okay, okay. I was on a call every Monday with Josh for about 7 years, and
Wow.
I'm still on one almost every Monday night with him, even though he's not on corporate anymore. He's so kind, and he knows I need accountability. So I said, Bob, we're not on corporate, but you can come on my team if you want. So I love it. We're right. I think we're right before you guys, your call. But in that 7 years, Josh, that I was having to turn in reports every week, our team, Leslie was on there, and many people in the team were on there. Barbara was on there, and he had probably 8 or 9 of us on the team, maybe even 10, and our business doubled. We went up, just doubled in that period. So Kevin and Janet, you guys have grandkids. Do you have a question? Anybody have a question they might want to ask Isabella? Because this
Yes. So yeah, so Isabella, either you or your dad can answer, but how specifically were you encouraged by your parents to go this route? I mean, clearly your personality is the basis for you being able to do this, but what specifically did your parents do to help you on your way?
Well, for me, I am very social, and so is my dad. And when I'll hear him talking about something so awesome, like when 6 years ago, I was so encouraged by that. And just hearing all the stories he was telling other people, I wanted to tell everyone I meet the same stories that he tells other people. Like I feel like I just follow my dad in his footsteps, and I kind of just get encouraged from everything that he shares.
Yeah, I guess I can maybe just chime in on that one. So, but yeah, thank you for the nice compliment. But I feel like us as parents or even grandparents, right? We have a vision, and like, what can we do to share that vision? I always wonder, like, if I was to go back, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, what would have I done differently? But imagine asking someone who's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ahead of you, and like, hey, if you know what you know, what would you be doing differently? And this is one thing, like, I mean, Warren Buffett said the best investment he has ever done was joined an MLM group. So, I mean, if the richest man in the world, if he understands these concepts, but we understand that this is not just about money, this is about helping people and knowing, like, I really like how we were at the Brassfield Winery last fall, and I love how Jerry said, he's like, guys, when you talk to people, there's no need to talk about science. Like, we've covered that for you already. Like, we have all the clinical studies and all the proof. You just focus on delivering this to them and getting this in their mouths. So we have that confidence because, for one, like last year, I have compared over 100 top brands in the world, not just here in America, but in the world. And not a single company has come as half as good as a NeoLife. They are so far behind on their, just the way how they produce their things. I don't know. I'm not a nutritionalist, but we all have phones. We all have, internets. We can Google and research, what is this ingredient? What does it do for you long term? And NeoLife is so far ahead of everyone, which should give you guys all the confidence, all the confidence you need. And all you gotta do is just listen to people's needs, just hear them out. And so knowing what I know now, my children, they hear that, like, hey, listen, we have the best products in the world. And I used to say, hey, are you taking any good, nutritional supplements? Are you taking any good subs? And my wife corrected me last year. She goes, they're, not good. Are they taking the best? I was like, you are 100% correct. So I changed my phrase into, hey, are you taking the best? People are like, the best? Well, I want the best, right? I mean, everybody kind of wants something better, regardless of what it is. So if we can just if we can impact the people around us, especially the ones that are under our roof, and passing it on to your grandchildren and your children's like, hey, we have the best products. Anybody can take this to the next level and do clinical studies or do their own research, laboratory work. They will find that we already have clinical studies published by USDA since 1992 that we have the ultimate omega oils, that we have the best carotenoids ever on the market till this day. And that was 92, and this is 2024. How many decades later, we still hold first place? So understanding that we have this, like, why not? Like I told my parents, if you guys are not taking this, I'm going to start buying this for you. And that's the goal, is this year for me to supply all of their NeoLife supplements. And they have transitioned from everything else in their cupboard going back to, or going to NeoLife. There's a vitamin D, it's going to be NeoLife. It's magnesium, it's the 3 complex magnesium, not just one. If it's the salmon oil, it's all 8 omega oils in one. If it's the vitamin E, it's going to be all family of E family all in one capsule. So it's like we have truly the best stuff. And like Isabella has mentioned about the energy drinks, so she was a little shy about saying this, but I mean, she hands out, Elevate at church, at her friends, wherever she goes, because we tell people that this is not an energy drink. This is an energy drink, times 4. It gives you hydration because of minerals. It gives you benefits because it has vitamins and minerals. And it's also with nootropics. And people are like, ooh, what's nootropics? That's a new one. What's that? I'm like, hey, it's patent to give you calming energy without the jitters. Like, what? Yeah, it's perfect for studies. Like, get out the facts there, right? And then just kind of share some stories because, facts tell, stories sell. So like, hey, I take this all the time, or our friend takes this, or every time we go, at church, we'll take an Elevate, or, whatever story comes to your mind, but have like 3-4 stories in your pocket for anything, right? And I think I've mentioned this last time, but my wife and I, when we used to go to bed, we would spend one evening a week where we just challenge each other. We would just go onto NeoLife Facebook group and we would just read the testimonies. I'm like, honey, listen, or she'll read to me, I've had this problem. I've had this problem. I'm like, okay, pause. What would we suggest this person if someone asked us? And then she'd throw out, 2-3 things. And sure enough, the person said, I took this, like, fantastic. We're getting good at this, right? So, I mean, you're going to suck on day one, but you're going to get better because we don't need doctors. We've gone to doctors probably 4 times in the last year. And you know what they have said? Every single time they're like, we need antibiotics. Like, forget the antibiotics. Like, we don't need antibiotics. Like, for a scrape on a knee or for an ear infection, we need antibiotics. Like, come on. Like, we need natural remedies. We need natural things. What can help, right? And we have that stuff that can help. So, anyways, I just wanted just to add a little bit in more on that.
Fantastic. Well, does anybody else have a question they want to ask Nick or Isabella?
Isabella, I have a question for you about that sparkling water. So you're going to laugh at what happened to me. I just wanted to test the same thing. So I put it in, not thinking it's sparkling, and the whole kitchen just went over. So I'm happy you talked about that because I only got a little bit from it because everything was on the floor, but it tastes so good. So what is your secret in keeping the foam down, and do you put the whole slip? Because if I have to share it with my friends, I can't be having it all over their kitchen floor. So
yes. Well, the first time I saw it done was by my mom, and same thing happened to my mom. So we learned from our mistakes. But we will pour in 8 ounces of sparkling water and slowly put some of the powder in and just mix it with a spoon, and just slowly, and it'll rise and it'll go back down. You add some more and keep mixing. Slowly but surely, it'll all mix in.
okay, good. Thank you. I appreciate that because I bought 6 bottles and I was already so disappointed that one went over. Okay, great. And I must say, I will see you probably next weekend. Not probably, because I'll be at the retreat. But just to inspire us as matured individuals on the platform, that now we can talk to other parents or the people about having their children, to set their confidence, so they don't have to be redundant with a 9-to-5 job if they choose not to, etc. But give them the opportunity that the whole world is in front of them. So wish NeoLife had done that a long time ago, but thank God they're doing it now. We can look back in the past, but I appreciate what you, because I have 2 young men, they're in their 40s, but I signed them up when I think they were in the early 20s. That was their gift to them. And you had promoters, not knowing, didn't push them into that business, just taking it. So but I
Yes, that's
appreciate
awesome.
yeah, so,
Great work for doing that. That's so
yeah.
great. Yeah,
So
thank
thank
you.
you for sharing. Yes.
Yes,
And
of
thank
course.
you, Nick. Thank you for your hyper dad who gives us all the energy. I probably have to take more Elevate next weekend.
You know, Nick was pretty funny. He told me that before church he takes a double dose. So I tried it once. It tastes delicious. But you guys, you just imagine that Isabella has got close to 4,000 already, and you know she's got 2 years to go. So if she keeps, you know, add, can you imagine at when she turns 18, she might be at 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 PV. You guys, is that amazing? Kevin and Janet, anybody else have one last question, one or two, and then we'll
There was a question in the chat.
Okay.
I didn't read it.
So whoever wrote that question, why don't you ask it right away?
Yes. Barb has a question.
Okay.
For Isabella, I'm a grandma with grandchildren around her age, and I'm confused as if they can't become a promoter until they're 18, how is Isabella enrolled, and how does she get people on her team?
Okay,
Yeah. Yes, I am a club member, and I just sign up my friends, and once I'll be 18, I can switch to promoter, and that is when I'll start making the paycheck. Does that answer your question?
Yes, because I was under the impression even as a club member you had to be 18, so that's not true. You can be a
Yes.
club member at any age.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard other people saying that at retreat last time. They're like, "Oh, she can't be a club member yet until 18." Like, oh, what? But I am already.
You are already, so it's too late, huh?
Yeah.
Well, good for you, honey. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I think the rule is 18, but they don't ask you when you're signing up as a club member. But when you're a promoter, that's when they verify you. So club members, yeah, I think 2 of our kids are club members, Isabella and her sister. And we know a handful of people who have children that are, you know, club members who are, and actually in Bella's Monday group, the young guns, right? So there's 16 to 15-year-olds, there's 17-year-olds who are just sharing the products and starting up a little early.
Well, good for them.
Isabella, are there very many on that call that have actually got as high as executive manager, like 2,000? Are there very many? Are you the only one that has gone past that, or have several?
I think Mariah Clark did.
Wow.
I don't know about anyone else. No, I don't know. But yeah, there are it started off with like 10 people on the calls, but
Okay.
but it's like 5, 6 now. Sometimes a lot of people are busy, it'll be 4, or other times it'll be 8. It's always different. You never really know who will make it on for sure, who will not.
Do you get on there? Are you pretty consistent? Like every Monday, do you go on?
Yes, I think the last 2 Mondays I wasn't able to, but before that, yes. I love going on that call. It's so encouraging.
Okay, you guys, there's a clue for you right there. Isabella's got clear to about almost 4,000 once or twice, and look at her consistency. 3 retreats she's been at. She's been at part of a summit, and she's regular, consistent on the call with Josh. And Isabella, I think I know your sponsors. Are they very good, would you say?
Yes. Yes, so awesome.
I'm kind of teasing because you got great, wonderful parents. Fantastic parents. Okay. Well, you guys, let's just give the biggest thing. Oh, Janet, go ahead quickly. Janet,
There's a question, Kat is asking a question in the chat. She has background noise, so she can't do it verbally. She says, can you talk about how you share links and your process online? So how do Nick, how do you share your links?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great question, you guys. Just a little word of encouragement. The world is now on the next level, which everyone shares links. Nobody shares just nobody shares like, hey, what store did you get that at? Like that part is done. It's like, wow, that's a cool mug. Can you send me a link? In other words, where'd you get it? What store? And I'd like to buy it. And also the world is understanding that there are now affiliate links, like people that are like influencers or anybody, like you can be an affiliate. You just start up an Amazon account and whatever things that you like, you will have your own personal code. It's an Amazon link, but then you will get like a little percentage off of that. So the world is shifting so quickly where people are understanding that the links are not the way to go. And so when you're talking to people, they're going to assume, oh, cool, man, where'd you get that? I'll send you a link. Oh, cool, thanks, I appreciate that. That's quick, right? Instead of telling people where to go, what product to look at, you send a link that's directly to what they're asking for. So if they're asking for Elevate, just go into your home, back page or home office, and then just go search up, Elevate, and then when it pops up, just send them that link right there, which is already tied into it. Yeah, I think that's the way how the world is shifting right now. So we don't have to be afraid of, oh, can I send you a link? That's just how it goes.
Nick, do you use boards?
We just started boards. It's a super, super cool tool. But no, we don't use it directly from there.
Okay.
Okay, you guys, we're going to have to wrap up here because we've got something else we need to get to. But let's give Nick and Isabella just the warmest gratitude. Thank you so much, Isabella. It's so nice to have you and your dad on. We appreciate it greatly. So thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank
of course.
you.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to see most of you at retreat next weekend.
Yes, we're going to have about 5 or 6 of us there. So we'll look
Okay.
forward to seeing you and your dad.
Awesome. Yes, us too. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys, wasn't that amazing and awesome? I love being around a close-knit family and forward thinking and maturity, and it's just wonderful. I admire it so much what they're doing. Well, you guys, we have another speaker coming on in just a few minutes, but what we're going to do now, we're going to switch to Barb. Barb and Rick went to a retreat about 2 weekends ago in Fresno with Louie's team. And Barb, can you take it away and give us your report on what you liked best, please?
Oh my goodness. The speakers were all amazing. The Whit was there. Susan Beck was just neat to listen to because she's so intelligent and had so many facts about the products. And the one I enjoyed most was Elevate because that's one of my favorite products. And she broke it down to tell why it worked. And I couldn't write fast enough to get all the facts. But besides that, my favorite part was meeting people and being in a room with that many people that were like-minded, because our world is so upside down and backwards right now. And to be in a place where it was so patriotic in the opening of every meeting, and so honoring God in everything. And it was like when I spoke to the people there, it was almost like they talked about the Lord as much as they talked about NeoLife. And I got to share just for a few minutes what NeoLife had done for my older sister, Bev. And from that, I had people come up to me asking me about that situation. And I made 2 friends that
They called her yesterday.
Wow.
Let me tell. One of them called me yesterday morning and we were on the phone for an hour and a half, just visiting. But what was so neat is she shared how she had, and we talked to her at the meeting. She told us how she had been diagnosed with bladder cancer and had surgery for that. And then Hodgkin's lymphoma. And the Monday after the meeting, she was supposed to get the doctor's report. And she said she'd been praying that the report would come back in such a way that it would make the doctors scratch their head and say, what happened? Well, she shared this with me yesterday. When the report came back, she had a clean bill of health. And so she was very thankful for that. And so I didn't know what NeoLife products she had been on, but I shared with her, I said, well, you know, the Phyto Defense is a very powerful immune booster and cancer fighter. And she goes, I've been on it since January. So that was just wonderful. And we met some people from the UK that we got to eat dinner with a couple of times, and they just shared a little bit about NeoLife. Mostly we talked about family and things like that. But one thing that he said that has really stuck with me, he said, you can't always be motivated, but you can be disciplined. So even if you don't feel like doing the boring stuff, the things you don't feel like doing, because you are disciplined in doing it, you do it whether you feel like it or not. Kind of like you brush your teeth before you go to bed, whether you feel like it or not, and stuff like that. And so I guess the thing that was just most special to me was getting to meet the different people there. And seeing that people like Whit, Louie and Laverne. Laverne was an angel. They're just regular people like us. And they were so just easy to be with, I guess, because we got to sit with Susan Beck and Whit at 2 different dinners. And you wouldn't know that they were anything other than just someone attending the meeting unless you knew that they were. I mean, they just blended right in. So that was my favorite part, was meeting the people.
Okay, that's a really true thing. And even the leadership will tell you sometimes you get more from a conversation during a break or at a meal than from the speakers. Of course, are excellent.
Yes.
But Barb, you're saying the connections are amazing, right? And the friendships.
Yes.
And friendships, you know, that are a really nice connection, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And did it now when I asked you, you said that your belief in the product and the business had already been high, but would you say it was really nice validation and so on to meet the bigger NeoLife community there? Because there was over 100 there.
Sure. Yeah. Yes, because I absolutely love the products, but you're right, the testimonies, and I guess it does, it validates, like you're not the only one. There's
Right.
more people that are like-minded and think like you and have the same experiences.
Right. And you know, it's interesting what you said. Normal people like Susan Beck, she's the chief science officer, intellect like off the chart. And Jolie mentioned how humble she was and friendly.
Yes.
And then of course Stephen, he's vice president of field development, but you're saying how down to earth and very friendly, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like I said, if you didn't know who they were, you would just think they were someone attending the meeting, and were very easy to talk to and just regular.
Yeah. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for sharing. That was really wonderful stuff. Susie is on with us, and so I think what I'll do is just have Janet, would you be willing to share 3-4 minutes right now? of what the retreat meant to you, your highlights, and then we'll go to Susie, if that's okay with you guys.
Sure. Yeah. So this was my first event. I'd never been to a retreat or a convention, so this was the very first one for me. And I was not alone. There were quite a few others who were there for the first time, which was really fun to see. And it was a perfect balance of main speakers with Susan Beck and Stephen Whitwell. You've got the nutrition side and the business side. They're wonderful, public speakers. They are, real down to earth people, as has already been said. And then that balanced with those conversations that Barb was talking about, those at the meals and in between sessions, and just hearing people's stories of their people they've sponsored, people they've helped, their own personal stories. Those were terrific as well. So that kind of balance of the program and the informal conversations was really great. But the thing that I came away with was kind of a simplification of my thinking about the business. I have complete confidence in the products. I know they work. I know they're the very best. And I just was a little confused about how to go about the business part. And even though you've told me all this stuff, Bob, hearing it in a different setting was what kind of made everything click. And so I also, like Bar, was really struck by, I won't always be motivated, but I can always be disciplined. And spending that time every single day with specific goals that I am accountable for is, we're both kind of procrastinators. And so this was the inspiration to be more intentional. And that I was thinking, oh, I have to sign people up. I have to sign people up. And just switching that to, I need to sponsor people. I need to help people. I need to be a guide. I need to find out what the problem is, get to know people, find the need, and then guide them to a NeoLife solution. And that's different from, in my mind, from signing people up. That feels salesy. This feels like more in line with my personality and what NeoLife is all about. So just making specific goals, keeping them, and stay in the course. That's what I came away with.
Hey, Bob.
I'd like to. Whoops.
Oh, go ahead. I was going to ask Bob if
I
it's okay if I said something, but go right ahead.
Okay. Before one of the days, met with Bob and Tony and Stephen and Janet,
Yeah.
and it was great getting to talk to those guys. And Tony pulls up his phone and shows me boards. And I'd heard of boards, but never really looked at it. And it was amazing how he uses his phone to send information, how quick and easy it is, because it's all right there on his phone. So I got home and I signed up for boards, and I've only populated it with 4 or 5 things so far. And then today I was online, and Tony is giving a course on boards and how to start up with it. And it was fabulous. Anyway, I encourage everybody to go to the Bald Eagle team and look for that. It's really good education. And I did love the emphasis on God and country at that event. It was great. Great people. Okay, go ahead, Rick.
Thank you. Just one second here. Janet, you mentioned goals. Do you have one particular goal you might be able to share with us? Does anything come to mind?
Well, one of the goals is to pray every day that God will send us people that we can help. And I happened to be on my way to Portland to see the grandkids. I stopped for a cup of coffee, and there I met a woman who has signed up with me, but she was on my list of people to connect with, to follow up with. And God brought her and me together at a coffee shop. We had a wonderful 20-minute conversation, and that goal to talk to her, this week was accomplished because God arranged for us to be in the same place at the same time. So 2 goals got met.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Jenna, what you said, Nick, to me, he's so refreshing because he said it's not just about money, it's about helping other people, remember? And that was quite refreshing, wasn't it, to hear that?
Yeah.
And Jerry Brasfield, I think, is the same because I've heard him say this many times. It's about helping people. And I'll give you one quick story, then we'll go to Rick, and then we'll go to Susie. There's a lady in Mexico. She's an attorney and her husband's an attorney, and her dad is a 5 diamond. And she was driving everyone in her team out of their mind because she was so uptight and nervous about her volume. And she'd call them every month, how much volume are you going to do this month? How much volume are you going to do? How much volume are you going to do? And she was just driving them crazy. And she was so stressed. I don't know if she's trying to be like her dad or what. But anyway, she talked to Jerry, and Jerry told her, he said, I don't want you to think about PV or nothing. All I want you to do is care and love and serve people. And it took 5,000 pounds off her shoulders. She said, I don't have to talk about volume. She was shocked. And he said, no, I just want you to love people and serve them and care for them. It took so much weight off her. And now they have the fastest growing team in Mexico because she's so happy that she doesn't have to sell. She has to serve and learn how to care. And they were doing, last I heard, they were doing 10,000 a month, which is not bad, So nice emphasis. And I heard that several times from Nick. The goal is to help people around us. So is that a little bit of what you're saying, Janet?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thanks for sharing, you two. Rick, share with us, and then I'll introduce Susie.
Okay, everybody's been talking about Susan, which she is awesome. She actually helped me out a lot on some of the questions I had. And Steven's got a great business plan, but one of the things that I haven't heard is Louis' presentation. And one of the things that really stuck with me was him talking about us having our downline and constantly, well, not constantly, but sharing with the downline something every week or whatever. So this last entire week, I have been sending the Elevate commercial that NeoLife has put out, just emailing it to all of our downlines so that they could see that, because they didn't go to the convention. They didn't hear the speaker speak. And for us to get somebody on our team and kind of well, we got one, and then just, push them to the side and not help them grow in doing this product is, it's really important, because there's a lot of people out there that do not understand what NeoLife has to offer for them. And so that's all I wanted to say, is that Louis had a very, very good point about working with your team, keeping them informed, and getting that out there so that they can help people as much as you want to help people. So there you go.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you very,
Sure.
very much. Appreciate that. And we're so happy that you and Barb were with us. It was wonderful having you there, and seeing you connecting with our chief science officer. That was pretty cool, right? In the early part of the meeting. And
Oh,
Barb,
yeah. I had my upline had some questions for me to ask Louis, but Louis was so busy. I saw Susan, so I approached her, and she gave me the answers. May have not been what other people wanted, but she gave us her answer, and it made a lot of sense to me, and so I shared it with our upline.
Wonderful, wonderful. And both Rick and Barb spoke from the stage, and we're connecting beautifully with lots of people. And So appreciate your guys' input.
Sure. I've had people asking for my phone number to give my give my testimony on a freeway call.
Yeah.
So I did. I gave them my number.
Rick has an amazing testimony, and so nice to see them at the event connecting with people. And okay, you guys, speaking of Louis' team and his expertise, we have a very special treat right now. Susie is so kind to come on. She's from Louis' team, and she currently works as an electrical engineer, technical manager in a large U.S. defense corporation, high-tech field. And her dream and aspiration is to replace 35 years of work. So obviously 35 years of work. She started when she was only 8 in this area to health and the NeoLife mission. And you guys, she's doing it with a vengeance. I'm telling you. She found Louis on social media live when she was scrolling one Saturday morning, and she joined the last day of September, the last day. Okay, she had 124 points. The next month she had 1,320. The next month 2,024. So she made core rank executive manager by her second full month. Then she did executive manager and executive manager, and then over 3,000, 3,300, you guys. That was in February. So 3,300, that's approaching 4,000. Okay, like about the 5th or 6th month. Is that awesome, you guys? So she's quite remarkable, to say the least, and it's very kind of her to come on and tell her story. And you guys want to take careful notes, because she had really fast growth, and she has a big vision, replacing that 35-year career with the wonderful NeoLife career. So you guys, let's give Susie Carpio just the biggest thankful welcome, you guys. Thank you, Susie, for coming on. And we're all ears. We want to learn. So tell us your story and how you did it, and anything you want us to hear, please.
Of course. First of all, can everybody hear me okay? Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
The first thing I want to say is thank you so much for inviting me. This is a relatively new, as you heard Bob say, I joined at the very end of September. I want to just tell you real quick why I was so interested in Louis initially. So it's a funny story on TikTok. I'm a TikToker, and I like just putting content out about health and insulin resistance. My family has suffered from various levels of diabetes, and so I'm very passionate. I wish I would have known NeoLife when my mother was still with us, and my father as well. My father has a very sad prostate cancer. I lost him to prostate cancer, and when I see all the great stuff that NeoLife has to help people like that, that's part of what drives my passion, as well as trying to change my career into health and loving people with health. But you can imagine, since I come from a technical background, I'm not viewed as a health person. I'm viewed as someone who's, ASIC test engineer, verification engineer. They don't look at me like I'm a health girl. So some of what I'm going to teach you was so vitally important that Louis taught me. Joining this, I've been in many direct sales ventures in the past with no success. And this is the first time that it has really launched. And I think it's because of our leadership and because of our quality products. So, and of course, Bob, it was so wonderful. The family of NeoLife and the people that we get to meet. I just can't even say enough about how we all want to help each other be successful. And there's a big world out there for us to help. So again, thank you so much. Bob, are you okay if I show a quick presentation?
Yes, I would love it. I would love it.
Okay, great. And I can send this out to everybody if you like afterwards.
Yeah,
but I want to just share this with you because what Louis had me talk about at the event in Fresno was skill set 2. And I don't know how many of you are aware of the skills, but one of you was talking about the boards, and the 7 skills are on the Bald Eagle team's boards application. And the very first thing Louis told me after I met him is he said, go learn your 7 skills, Susie. And so I went out there and, you know, I would just listen. They're just, they're videos, and you can sit and watch them, or you can listen while you're driving or whatever. I would just listen and over and over and over and over and try to internalize it and get it. So skill set 2, though, I believe I would say it was the key to the rapid growth in my business. And Louis is a phenomenal mentor. So skill set 2, it's the gateway skill, and it's inviting. And I say deep breath because it makes us all uncomfortable. It's a little awkward. It's hard. Our intention is good, but you know, unfortunately, our direct sales has a bad rap, right, out in the world. And so sometimes it's a little hard to overcome it, but it's a must skill for us. And so it's really important. If you go watch Eric War, those 7 skills on skill set 2, he teaches the most amazing way to think about it, so it's not uncomfortable. And Louis and all this world team and the leadership team and people in NeoLife all live this way too, which is really great. Okay, so what is key about skill set 2 is that we never want to invite to ourselves, and here's why. If you take a look at this, you can see that, like, here I was, I'm feeling a little insecure, unskilled, I don't have a lot of success, I'm a little bit intimidated. I was highly interested in the product for my own personal health. But I also wanted to build the business because I do a lot of studying of health on the side. I try to help people, and I wanted to build the business and make this my career versus that US defense career. Okay, so I have so many friends and family members and peers that I work with. And though I realized and learned why it's so awkward for me to try to come and fact give, again, they don't see me as a health expert. They might trust me at a certain level. We have trust, mutual trust, but we don't necessarily have respect in the world of health. And so it's really important that we point to a third party, a credible person, like Bob, like someone in your upline, like other people who have testimonials, like the Louis of the world. It's really important that we go introduce them to third party, and we use our trust relationship with them just to make that network connection. And that is really the foundation of the training. And that was really the foundation. I followed the lead, and I was coachable. They say you need to be teachable and coachable. And so Louis told me what to do, and I went and did it. But at the end of the day, you want to read, introduce, and tell stories. You never want to be the first party fact giver to your direct people that you know. Eventually, when you have an upline, you will be that person for them. But for the direct people and connections you have, you want to read, introduce, and tell stories and redirect to a credible third party. So the key takeaways from the Eric War training in skill set 2 for me was, don't invite yourself, invite to third party. Use your trust relationship to invite to an event, because like Bob and you all were talking about when I joined, this Fresno event was an amazing event. We have the upcoming July event, right, for Impact Summit. And there's another great event that's going to happen in January of next year in Texas, which will be fabulous. Eric War also talked about, you may not always have events to invite people to, but there's videos. And Eric War literally said this. He said he learned how to invite to the video. He ran around and gave it to people, and he shut up and showed it. Because you don't always have a live person that fits in your schedule or whatever that you can get to the table right away if you want to talk to someone. So he had this video, he ran around, he showed it, and he just quiet and showed it. And he said, anything that's not you, let something else do it. You'll get better results. Stay out of the way so they can see it, because they may not relate to you in the form of health. They've got the trust relationship, but they may not relate to you in their health challenges or in their financial challenges if you want to try to encourage them to build the business. So anyway, the biggest thing, though, that you want to take away is stay away from first party fact giving. It's so easy for us to want to get into that, but we want to stay away from that. We want to read, introduce, and tell stories. If they ask a question, you show them the answer by the boards, by putting your upline on, by bringing a testimonial to the table, but never, Louis really tries to teach us and educate us that we don't need to be the experts. Okay, so this leads to the importance of learning how to invite and inviting to what is critical. We talked about large company events. Industry says these are the most effective large company events. Home meetings, 4 to 5 people. Have them in your home. Bring your leadership up on your screen if they can't be in the home with you. We've done both of these and they've been very successful and helpful. And the people that, and even if you only have 4 or 5 people, you don't have to have 20, even just 4 or 5, because again, we're here to make a difference in people's lives. We're not here for numbers. We're here to help the people that are looking for the help. 2-on-1 presentations was another way that Louis really helped me. I was able to, I'm going to show you how I invited. I'm going to give you the exact script that Louis taught me on how to invite. And we did a ton of 2-on-1 presentations, and that's what helped my rapid growth. And basically, it's you, your leader, and the person you care about that you pull into that 2-on-1 presentation. And you have got to understand your person's need and connect them to the right upline or the right other person that they can hear from and see through. Luncheons is another one that's encouraged. I can't say I've done a lot of luncheons, but I can definitely see the positivity in them, and I do plan to try more of those. But again, you heard Bob mention social media platforms. A lot of people are scared of the social media, but that's how I found Louis on TikTok Lives. And he invited me to an email connection that day, and that's how we connected. Because I was interested in the 30-day detox. That was my entire interest. I'm a breast cancer survivor, praise God. And Louis talked about a 30-day detox. And that was the only reason I wanted to talk to him. And fortunately, on his TikTok Live, I literally caught the last 3 minutes maybe of his live. And he was logging off and he said, if you have any questions, email me at da-da-da-da. And so I did, and here we are today, and I'm so thankful. So we talk about God planting those seeds for us. I was so thankful that I bumped into him that day on TikTok Live. Okay, so here's the main thing that I really take away that really helped me be successful as I invite people. How you approach the people matters. We are farmers, not hunters. We encourage, we nurture, we plant the seed, we water it, we come back, we check in, and we're okay if it's a little bit not, if our little plant isn't going where we want it, that's okay. We just keep coming back and nurturing it and never give up on anybody. As I mentioned, our direct sales does have a bad rap, but we have to remember our product is amazing. I mean, the product that we have and the testimonials is so phenomenal. But our real main goal for us, if we want to build the business, is to educate and understand. We want to be able to go out and educate people and help them understand what we have to offer and how we can help them in their life. So it's the value of network marketing, the credibility of NeoLife as a company, the validity of our compensation plan, and the efficacy and power of our products. Those are the 4 key things that we want to educate and help people understand. That's what we've got to help them and help ourselves. We want to become an ambassador for our company, and we want to be emotionally detached from the results. The reason why? Because our goal is to educate and understanding for them. That's it. What they decide to do with that, we can't control, and it's okay. But if we are able to get people to just listen, we've done what we're out here to do. And we can be emotionally detached so it doesn't feel all, like I got rejected, this is not working. Stay emotionally detached from that and just make your goal to educate and help people understand. And remember, we're farmers. Okay, so Louis told me, this is the invite approach. He says, this is what I need you to do, Susie. First of all, he said, know your story. And your story is your background, the problem you have, and what solution you found and why you're excited about your future. That's your story, okay? And so he basically, and this is all taught in that Eric War 7 skills on the boards application for the Bald Eagle team. So this was an example, and he basically, Louis said, Susie, I want you to go find 10 people that are your friends, and I want you to invite them to come watch me. So here's how my invite script went. And I worked on it a little bit, but not a lot. And so remember, be who you are and come genuinely, because that's really what we're trying to do, is help people. And Louis was trying to help me learn. I'd never actually, since I joined the way I did on TikTok, just watching the last 5 minutes of TikTok Live, I never saw the traditional Bald Eagle Vibrant Health presentation, for example, right? And so Louis basically was like, said, go get these 10 people, and I want to show you how I present this. So this is my upline. I'm being coachable. I'm like, okay, I'll go get 10 people. And he says, talk to your friends and ask them to just come watch. So here's an example. I called up an engineering friend of mine. I hadn't talked to him probably a year, but I knew he wasn't in the best health, okay, when I was in the building with him. So, and he's a wonderful person, and he's a young guy. And so I'm like, hey, Greg, it's been such a long time since I've talked to you. How are you? How is your family? And this just leads to natural conversation. And because remember, the business is about being genuine. And I really was interested in how he was doing. It turns out he's married and has a little baby on the way. It's really awesome. Okay, so this is the wonderful part, again, of our business, is we get to reconnect with people we care about. And so then I reminded him, I said, hey, Greg, because I didn't work at the same company anymore. I'm a different company. I said, I know you know me from our engineering world, right? And he's like, oh, of course, Suze. And okay, this is my background to him, right? And I said, but I don't know if you know this about me, Greg, but my passion is helping people and helping people. I have a lot of passion built around that because of my own experience with health and understanding basically how it can affect our lives. And so that's where my real passion's at, Greg. And this is my problem. I spend 50 hours a week in my engineering world, but my real passion is in the place of doing like what we're doing today and helping people. And I said, and so Greg, you know what? I found a mentor, and I'm so thankful he's willing to help me. I'm really excited about this, to learn from him and help the world like he does in the world of health and finances. And this is the solution I found. So again, this is our story, our background, our problem, and our solution. And I told him, I said, my first assignment is I have to find 10 friends that will help me, that I know and respect. And Greg, you're one of them. And I want to know if you'll give me 20 minutes of your time and your brilliant brain and just come to a presentation with Louis and I, let him present the information to you so I can learn from him how he does this. There's no expectations from you. You don't have to be sponsored. I just want you to listen, offer objections so I can see how Louis will handle objections, because these are a bunch of engineers that will have all kinds of objections, okay? And I want you to ask questions so I can watch and see how he handles them. And then afterwards, after that 20 minutes, can I call you and ask what you think? If you think I can do this because you're my friend and you know me. No signing up, just your feedback. No other expectation. You guys, in 12 weeks, or in 5 weeks, I invited 12 people. Not one of my friends said no. They all were willing to help me with 20 minutes. Out of that, I was sponsored 6 promoters, 3 members, and 3 said I could do it. Not one no. Because I was just coming as a friend asking for help to help me. And that's what I did with my first 12 people. And that's how my growth just exploded. So the key takeaways that I took away from the experience is our intention really matters. Our goal is education and understanding. The other thing you need to remember is that all business is conversation. So if you're talking about NeoLife, your business is moving and alive. And it doesn't matter what you're talking about it, just the fact that you're talking about it and you're keeping it present, it's alive. And to be an ambassador for NeoLife, stand tall, bring passion, and bring urgency to the people too. Because sometimes people can kind of waffle around, and if they don't see your urgency, they don't see any reason to be excited about it. Put your shoulders back, love, be genuine, be kind, share God's light. And I really firmly believe we will succeed. We'll all hit bumps in the road and we'll all get some discouragement, But if we just stay consistent and keep doing these things, we will succeed and get where we want to get. So my last message for all of you is that I want to say to God bless you all, and that we're in a beautiful family with NeoLife. And I'm so thrilled to be here with all of you. I hope that helps you. And if you have any questions, I'm right here.
You guys give her a huge hand. And who has
Fantastic. Thank you.
the question? You guys, thank you so much, Cindy.
Of course.
Who has a question? You got a rapidly growing person here. She's going to be director very shortly. Wasn't that an awesome presentation, you guys? Who has a question? Janet, Kevin, you guys, Barb, Les, Barbara?
Thank you, Susie. Very informative, very encouraging. What kind of the presentation that Louis will share? You don't have to share that there, but is it from the NeoLife presentation? Like it's duplicatable. So if we get somebody, they can find it in the back office or something like that. Can you expound on that, please? Appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. And that was the reason Louis said, hey, Susie, after 10 or 15 people of I bringing to him to help me, that presentation was the presentation I was to take off with and start to present to my own people. Okay, so that's how I was supposed to learn that presentation. But that presentation is on that board's application that was talked about earlier. And it's called the Vibrant Health presentation. It's an amazing booklet. You can even get them in hard copy booklet too. They call them coffee chat books too. And they say you should like put them. I do have about 4 of them I carry in my backpack. And so you never know, right? When you're going to come across somebody that you might want to plant the seed with or sit down and have a quick conversation with. It's really an amazing presentation. Literally, you guys, 15, 20 minutes, and it's all there.
Yeah, I have a few of those, but I use it not consistently because I was just thinking of duplication because, people want to see the same thing. So when they sign up, you give them that same booklet?
When they sign up, when I sponsor someone?
When you sponsor someone, yes.
Honestly, the majority of the people that I have been all through 2-on-1 conversations on a Zoom call with Louis or inside our home. And we do put a little packet together. We make a little basket with a few little things in it for sampling the product. But I have not had opportunity or a need to necessarily hand the book to people to go with them. And then I would say that at this point I'm rapidly growing, but I have so much to learn from even people like Bob, right? Like how you have a larger team and how you do your meeting today is really amazing. Right now, I'm still a little baby under Louis and coming up into that. But yeah, I have not had the need to hand that out to a lot of people. But I don't know if you guys saw all the really great tools that came out of the Fresno event this last month, but those booklets will be amazing. And we and a few people in my team have decided to order like 100 each, and we all split the cost together. And we're putting our QR codes on those, and we will be handing them out and planting seeds and going to little events, and wherever we can, we'll be handing them out and spreading the word. So, one question you might have for me is this skill set that I shared with you, I still do it. And I still bring people to the table this way and still learn from Louis that way. But I'm very much for myself. I'm moving into it. When I go into that director space, I want to be a solid, strong director. So in the 3 months, I can be consistent and hit Emerald Director in that 3 months. So as a result, I am learning myself how I move into that next step. And so back to the being coachable, right? Looking to my uplines, I'll call Bob probably and say, hey, Bob, like, how did you do it? And how do I stay consistent? And because you heard him say, I'm right up around that 3,300, right? I got rapid growth up to that point, but I'm having to bring on a new skill set now to get myself right into that director. So yeah, so there you go. I hope that helped.
Susie's very consistent.
Thank you.
She's so consistent, you guys. She's got 5 consecutive months over 2,000, 5 in a row, and with the highest at 3,300. So she's definitely getting consistency. And is the best tool that you're talking about, is it that one that compares our Shake and Elevate, and in about 4 pages it has 1 page each, the comparison, right?
I'm so excited about that tool. Yes. It's
And
not too much for people to internalize.
and you guys, it's very important. You can order this tool through Arlene Morris, but it's very important you not share it with other teams. Do not, because we have to honor Louis. He's been so kind, by God's mercy, to let us come. Leslie's holding it up there. Let us come to his events. But see, he spends thousands of dollars on website stuff and tools, developing them. So we must honor Louis, that he said we can have this tool. Is that kind or what, you guys? It's so generous. There's Leslie holding it up. But so you guys go ahead and order that from Arlene Morris. That's Louis' administrative assistant, and use it tons, of course, to help you build and to help communicate to people what we have. So Susie, this is just tremendous what you shared. I'm so happy because we
thank you.
Go back from the recording, you guys, read every word on there on her wonderful PowerPoint, and then listen to her audio, because she said so many great things. And do we have maybe one or two? Jamie, do you want to ask a question, or Les or Barbara or Kevin?
I have a question.
Sure.
I really appreciate that Louis allows your team, which I'm a member, to go to his events. And I'm wondering if we can have access to the Bald Eagles boards. Would he allow us to do that?
I think we can. I'm not very techy, so we'll find out more about that. But Louis told me about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, he's always let us come to his stuff.
Right.
But even more generous, I mean, that's phenomenal that we can even be there.
I agree.
He told me a year or two ago, I think it was at the event that you came to Hume with me, Kevin, that he had told Arlene, who is his administrative assistant, to let us have their tools. I go, wow. So I imagine
they've been very generous.
Yes. Oh, extraordinary. So we'll explore that. And Susie, could you tell us why you're going to go to the summit and about the Texas event that Louis is going to have?
Yeah, of course. The reason I'm going to go to the summit is because it is the first NeoLife event at a corporate level that I'll be attending. If you go listen to the industry experts on direct sales and building a business like we're all here to do, they will tell you that the large corporate events are the best, most effective way to build your business. Now, ideally, you want to bring people with you, because when you get into the space where you see so many amazing success stories of doing what we do, it's very beneficial to our own encouragement and well-being, and standing up again and being proud and an ambassador of who we are and what we're doing. For me too, I'm actually bringing 3 people will be with me in my team, and I'm really super excited about that, because you know what? It's going to be a fun time for all of us together as well. It'll be a fun time away from the craziness of the world, and we all have similar goals in our life, and we're excited about health, and we're excited about growing a business that will allow us to spend more time with our families. And I'm excited about meeting some of these people that I see on the NeoLife sites. I've gone back and looked at the past summits, and I'm excited about how much more information I'm going to learn, how many more tools they're going to bring. Louis is amazing in the relationship he's got with the owners of the company. And so when I was at the January Brassfield event, I actually got to meet, Kendra and Jerry Brassfield, and got to see the genuineness of the company. And so I think, Bob, the Impact Summit for me, because it's more of a corporate level, it's not going to be as homey and probably family. It's still going to be family, but it's a little different family feel, I think, in Louis', specific team. But the corporate is going to be so great for me to really continue to bolster my confidence in the company that I represent and where I want to bank my future on. So, and I can't even imagine how many tools and great talks I'm going to take away and how many wonderful people I'm going to get to meet. And I don't know, you see those, there's lots of people dancing and lots of happy. So we'll take that good energy too.
Right, that's right. It's tremendous to connect with Jerry and Kendra and the scientists and all the NeoLife family. And Susie, are you an engineer possibly?
I'm an electrical engineer, yes.
Engineer, okay. I was a hydrothermal engineer. Have you heard of that? I worked in the,
I know what hydrothermal is.
well, I was a hydrothermal engineer working in the restaurant industry, and hydro is water and thermal is heat. So I was
Yep.
a hot water engineer working in the restaurant industry. That means I was a dishwasher. That's what I did. That's what I did before. That was my last career before NeoLife.
Wow.
And Susie, we need to close this because we're over time, but can you tell us about the January event in Texas? Is that when it is? Is it January?
It's in January, and I can't give you right off bat the days, but I definitely know that I'm going to register and I will be there. They just opened registration on April 1st. So
Okay.
we are going to be there. I think definitely there'll be 4 of us, at least for my team. I'm going to invite more people, but it's going to be amazing resort in Texas. It's actually a Christian resort.
Yes.
And here's one thing, you guys, I love about Louis. He was like, it's going to be a Christian-based resort, and if anyone has issues with that, I'm not apologizing.
Right.
I love that guy.
Right, he is.
He's such a great leader for us, to help us stand and be who we are as well. But yeah, there's going to be some really great information about health and nutrition, and I'm sure major scientists are going to be there. I haven't seen the complete lineup yet, but I have no doubt that January event will really be something. And it's going to be it's going to be affordable for people. I think he moved it away from California because of affordability.
Okay. Yes. And so you guys we'll have info on that on our next BOC, which is the first Saturday of the month. We'll have some information on that event. I couldn't say enough about Louis. I think it is true that personal development allows a person to grow in this because he's good in nutrition, he's good in leadership, he's good in health. I mean, so many areas. He's good in Eric Worre's different 7 skills. So that's highly advantageous, you guys, for us to be around that and to absorb and grow. Yes.
I just wanted to show these booklets a little closer.
Okay, hang on just one second, Les. Susie, I want to thank you so much. You guys give her a huge hand. I mean,
Thank you, everybody.
It was perfect, Susie, because it walked us through how to do each thing. Thank you so much.
Of course. I hope it helps you all.
Thank you so much. And okay, Leslie, go ahead and when you're done showing us that, give us a few minutes of what you got from Louis' event. Could you please?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Everyone said most of what I had written down. So that's good. I just have a few things, but
all right.
Look at this list of all these other products and look at all the stuff missing. Dr. Beck did a deep dive into Elevate.
Yes, she did.
And she there was one company that all they had in their energy drink was caffeine. I thought, how do those people sleep at night? And so this is on 3 different products. And then Elevate, it's got all these other energy drinks. So you can get these for $1. And anyway, so just short little things. And on the back is where we get to put our QR codes. I'm not sure how they're doing that. But also, I'm hoping Dr. Beck's recording of the deep dive, like she said, I could go into much more detail here than I can at an Impact Summit, that it gets put up somewhere. And then also, Stephen Whitwell, if you go to March 25th leadership call recorded on NeoLife Business Builders Facebook page, you will get the talk he did for us down there from corporate, where he said, I'm going to look at health from a different angle. The fact that financial stress is, killing people, that even dying younger than you should is because has been proven from the financial stress angle. So you might want to look that up. And let's see. The new people on here who don't know who Stephen Whitwell is, he's our corporate trainer. So just wanted to let you guys know that. So I think just, the family atmosphere, the fact that we've always been included, even in the newest contest, we're included. So I was so glad to be there and have been there for many events.
Thank you, Leslie. And Leslie has one of the biggest businesses within our team. And part of that is she's been to, Les, would you say probably at least 40 convention summits, probably?
I'm not sure.
You hardly ever miss, right? You guys have been in 46 years and you almost never miss.
Back in the 80s or 90s, we missed some.
Okay, so probably at least 35, I bet. And Leslie's been to numerous Bald Eagle events like we were just privileged to go to, which is the team Susie is from. And she's been to many Wisdom Builder events also, up in Chewelah and in Bend and many areas. So even in Alabama. So thank you so much, Les, for sharing that. And Susie, thank you so much for, it was outstanding because it showed each step that we can follow. So thank you. And you guys, what we're going to do now, I'm just going to close with recognition. And we had 13 people who sponsored people last month. And so we're going to give $50 to one of those people. Every month, we're going to choose a person. And so the way we'll do it, Susie, I've got everyone listed here. I'm not going to include me in this list. So that's 12 people. So can you just choose number 1 through 12? And that's the person who's going to win the $50.
8.
8. Okay. That is, I'm going to skip that one because I was real.
Okay, I got a new one. I'll do number 4 because number 3, my little grandson just turned 3 today.
Okay, so Leslie Hansen is going to get $50. Yeah, Leslie's getting 50. And so thank you, Susie. And you guys, we're going to have this drawing at least for 3 more months. It may go on longer than that. So if you sponsor anyone, member or promoter, you go on this list. There was 13 of us this month that sponsored one or more. And Leslie was one of those. So Les, you got $50 coming to you.
Thanks.
And now I'll just close with the recognition, which is basically our gratitude, because you know, alone, we might not be able to do huge amount, but as a team, we can do quite a bit. So we want to recognize people's contributions. Allison Wilson contributed over 1,000 PV last month. Nancy Reese over 1,000. Jill Schroed over 1,000. Margie Ferguson 1,042. Teresa Hansen 1,065. Brick and Barb Bird 1,187. Jenny Knowles 1,327. Kevin and Janet Cornelius 1,332. Brent and Ramona Chichester 1,408. Kathy Instad, 1,417, Dean Vandenberg, 1,623 PV, Jolene Cox, 2,196 PV, Lisa Hansen, 2,374 PV, Joy Cordell, 4,000, Gina Ellis, 4,746. She's in Wisconsin under Leslie. Debbie Muzak, 4,837, Jamie and Carol Wilson in Grants Pass, 5,004. Marilee Blomberg, 5,015. Barbara Chichester, 5,845. Victor Pearson, 9,079. Daniel Hansen, 9,312. Leslie Hansen, 10,092. Stephanie Beckett, 10,290. You guys give them a hand, every one of those. And then we had world team members. Debbie Muzak had 9,391. Leslie Hansen, 24,150. Give her a big hand there. And then Victor Pearson, 25,214. And Marilee Blomberg with 54,379 points, you guys. So thank you all for your great contribution. Thank our speakers for today. And we'll look forward, you guys will be together the first Saturday in May. And then keep close to the campfire every Monday, 9 o'clock. It's only 30 minutes, 9 o'clock West Coast time with Ashley and Stephen. And every Friday, 9 o'clock, just 30 minutes, Wisdom Builder. And if you don't know how to get on their automatic texting, get a hold of me. I can give you that information so you get a reminder every Monday and every Friday. That's called staying close to the campfire is really important for us to do. I mean, really important. So thank you, Susie, and thank you everyone for all your contributions. You guys have a great day.
Thanks. You too, Bob.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Susie.
Thank you,
Thank
Susie.
you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
awesome.
Bye.
Hi, Bye.
There
Hi,
you
Barbara.
are.
Hi,
Hi, David. Hi.
For being on, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.